You're now tuned in to Brutally Uncut with me, your host, Tameeka Henry. Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Brutally Uncut. This episode, I wanted to talk about online dating and some of my recent experiences. I actually just tried out online dating for the first time within the last month or so and had some interesting experiences, some things that I've learned, and some tips that I could probably provide to those of you who are on the fence about doing it, have some questions, or maybe those of you who are currently utilizing the new style of dating and you're not doing so well, so you're looking for some tips on how you can be better or what you can do to attract someone that might be also interested in you or share the same interests. And for those of you that are doing well, kudos to you. And maybe you might learn something. Maybe you might hear something that I say that you might take with you on your next chat or engagement with the person that you're interested in. So just moving right along, I want to start off with some of the pros. One of the things that I really like about the online dating scene is that it's convenient. I mean, the term right now is there's an app for that. There's an app for driving. There's an app for, washing your car. There's an app for doing your taxes. Now there's an app for dating. There's no surprise. I mean, people like convenience, especially in the digital age. They want to be able to do what they want when they want and customize it how they need it to be customized in order to fit their needs. And that's one of the best things about the whole online dating scene now is that you can sign up online and still download the app and have it from your phone and have it accessible to you 24 hours, 7 days a week, which also allows you to be in more control of who you're reaching out to, when you're reaching out to them, what you want them to see, what pictures you want to put up, what do you want to put in your profile. So it allows that sense of control, which is pretty cool and which I enjoyed. Another pro is it's very easy to cut people off with the online dating apps and online dating period, because if you're not interested in someone or you see someone message you because they like your profile or they like your pic and it's not, your taste or what they said was stupid or you didn't feel like it made sense or you knew that they didn't read your profile, then guess what? You don't even have to respond. You can just delete it, which is very convenient as opposed to like traditional dating where if someone says something to you, you can't even really walk away today because some people just curse you out for not saying nothing at all. With online dating, you can delete the message and just, if that person becomes hostile, just block them. One of the best things about the online dating scene is that it connects you with people that you probably wouldn't meet on a regular basis. Maybe people that are homebodies. Maybe it's someone who goes out, so you wouldn't see this person at a party, or you wouldn't, if you frequent Manhattan or you live in Brooklyn, you wouldn't meet someone who necessarily lives in Queens unless they work at your job or you're at the same social event. So it connects you with different people all over, which is pretty cool, and it gives you the opportunity to interact with a much wider audience in that regard as well, because if you keep swiping left, on most apps, if you swipe left, that means you're not interested. So if you keep swiping left and you don't see anyone, you can alter your profile to say different things or to remove different aspects from your profile to attract a larger crowd or to filter it down so that you can see a more narrow crowd so it's not so overwhelming. And I'll get into that a little bit more when we talk about the cons. It also, which I found was very interesting, is that the online dating world gives people who are usually shy or people who won't necessarily walk up to someone and say how they feel if they're interested in them, or the wallflower per se, it gives them a voice. It allows them to, interact with people that they're attracted to in a relaxed environment. You don't feel like you're so pressured because you can be doing it from the comfort of your home, or maybe you're on the train. Text them straight from your mobile device, which is awesome. So it allows them to work on their social skills and interact with different people within their neighborhood or different people within different boroughs, as I previously mentioned. And it takes away some of the awkwardness of, like, the traditional first date. Sometimes when you meet someone for the first time, if it was a hookup or it was a blind date, and you're meeting this person, you don't know what to say, what they're going to be like, what are you guys going to talk about, are you going to share the same interests? Online dating kind of takes away that. I mean, you can still feel a little bit of awkwardness on the first date if you started out through an online chat, but at least you've read this person's profile, and if they are truthful, you know their age, you know what some of their interests are, so it's kind of easier to engage in conversation because now you know a little bit more about each other. You can elaborate on conversations that you did have and things that were part of the characteristics or their personality. You can now kind of validate those things in person and see if they are who they said they were. One of the best things about it being 24 hours, 7 days a week, is that you can really take your time to get to know someone online. You can figure out what their interests are. Take it as slow as you need to. You don't have to rush into anything. If you feel like talking to them on the app today, you don't feel like talking to them tomorrow, you have that choice. And if they message you today and you don't feel like responding, maybe you want to talk to other people that day and get back to them within 2 days, that's also cool. And if you like the person and you feel like you want to talk to them on a more frequent basis, then you can give them your phone number or give them your email address and speak to them and engage in conversation that way. But I want to get a little bit more into the cons, but before I do, I'll just play a little bit of a music selection, so I hope you enjoy. You're now tuned in to Brutally Uncut with me, your host, Tameeka Henry. You're now tuned in to Brutally Uncut with me, your host, Tameeka Henry.
I seen your girl post a BM, so I hit her in the DM. All eyes, yeah, I see him. Yeah, that's your man, I hate to be him. It goes down in the DM. It go down in the DM. It go down. It goes down in the DM. It go down in the DM. I tell him, Snapchat me that move. Or FaceTime me that if it's cool. Boy, my DM poppin'. My DM just caught a body. Move. I got celebs in the DM. Move. They're breaking news if they see them. Move. But nah, we don't do no talking. We see suckers too often. I seen your girl post a BM, so I hit her in the DM. All eyes, yeah, I see him. Yeah, that's your man, I hate to be him. It goes down in the DM. It go down in the DM. It goes down in the DM. It go down in the DM. I tell him, don't you hate when you get screenshots? That DM one for everybody. Rules. I love the gram. I'm addicted to it, I know I am.
Uncut with me,
and
your
I just
host,
follow
Tameeka
Angela.
Henry.
I got a crush on Angela. They like them. Got it? You bold. Kid, I'm gonna let the world know. Go. I seen your girl post a BM, so I hit her in the DM. All eyes, yeah, I see him. Yeah, that's your man, I hate to be him. It goes down in the DM. It go down in the DM. It goes down in the DM. It go down in the DM. I tell him, Snapchat me that move. Snapchat me that if it's cool.
Snapchat me that if it's cool.
I seen your girl post a BM, so I hit her in the DM. All eyes, yeah, I see him. Yeah, that's your man, I hate to be him. It goes down in the DM. It go down in the DM. It goes down in the DM. It go down in the DM. I tell him.
So we're back, and I want to get right into the cons of online dating. And this is kind of a con and a plus, but again, sometimes having a lot of choices is a good thing. But then again, it can also be a bad thing because it can feel a little overwhelming. Like, there's so many different things to choose from. You might feel like it's a job when you open up your inbox and you have like 30 messages from 30 different guys or chicks saying that they want to talk to you. Sometimes it's hard to weed out, who the scammers are, who's really interested, who has a fake profile, who just wants to sleep with you, and who's actually looking for the same thing that you're looking for. So that's a big con with online dating. Online dating doesn't necessarily have to be from an organized online dating site like POF or OKC or Tinder or Grindr. You can also online date through Facebook, Twitter, if you're very wordy, Instagram, as Yo somebody just said sliding in the DMs. That's one of the top things that's happening on Instagram right now. Sometimes when it's overwhelming like that, another thing that could be an issue is sometimes you get bored with it. I know that was a big thing for me. Even though people were hitting me up, a lot of the people that were hitting me up, I wasn't necessarily interested in, whether it be I wasn't attracted to them or I felt like, we wouldn't necessarily be quite a match. Like maybe we answered the same questions correctly, but based on our conversation, I just felt like it wasn't a match. So it felt like it was a kind of a waste of time after a while, and I felt like I was kind of forcing it. You also have to keep in mind that you just may never meet this person. Sometimes people just like to have what they call now digital pen pals, people that they can talk to when they're bored, people that they can talk to when they're lonely, or people who they can talk to when they just want to discuss their day and they don't have anyone else to talk to. So just be aware of that, because not everyone is looking to meet people and not everyone is looking for relationships. There's a lot of different interests that you'll run into when you sign up to these sites. And one of the biggest pet peeves of online dating are the liars. People that lie. People lie about the way they look. People lie about their income. People lie about their marital status. People lie about their career, their education, everything. So just make sure you have that in the back of your mind and you're not being naive, because people exaggerate a lot because they want to appeal to the best audience, which is human. But, you don't have to lie about it. And then another thing is there are creeps. There's creeps on these sites, people who just want to get in your pants, people who are looking for young girls and they lie about their age and it's like some old guy with like 50 million kids, or people who want to meet up with an individual and harm them or have malicious intent for some reason. Like, this world is sick. We all know that. So, again, just be aware and don't be naive to the fact that everyone doesn't have your best interests at heart and not everyone is looking for a relationship or love on these sites. Some key tips that I want to give you is pay attention. Please pay attention. If the person's profile says that their occupation is nursing, if they say that their occupation is engineering, don't ask them what they do. That's why they wrote it. You're supposed to read the profile. Read the profile. Again, pay attention to people's pictures. If someone has their shirt off, if they're sticking their tongue out or they're half naked, guess what? 9 times out of 10, they're not looking for a relationship. 9 times out of 10, they're looking for a hookup. So just be wary of that. Pay attention. You should be looking at these sites just like how New Yorkers look around when they're in the street traveling on a day-to-day. Be cautious. And stay organized. Speaking to a lot of people sometimes can be overwhelming. When you're on online dating, sometimes you can be talking to 3, 4, sometimes 10 people at a time. You don't have to remember everyone's names and all of their information, but reread the message. It doesn't hurt. Just reread the message, see what they said, and start the conversation from there. Take something from their profile and let that be the start of conversation instead of, hey, what's up? Or, hey, how you doing? How was your day? Hey, I saw that you work in blah, blah, blah. I see that you like to do this. I actually do this, or I actually traveled there. That kind of makes you stand out from the rest of the crowd and gives them a reason to want to interact with you because now you're a little bit different. Don't give too much too fast. Try to protect your personal information. Don't just give someone your number on the first conversation, or don't give them your address or tell them exactly where you work. You don't know these people. And again, people don't have your best interest at heart. Keep in mind that people are on these different sites, or people are reaching out for different reasons. Not everyone is looking for a relationship, as I mentioned previously. Some people are just looking for sexual partners. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not my thing. But if you are into that, just make sure you're being safe and make sure that you're asking them for the necessary things, like when is the last time you took a test? Because guess what? If they've asked you that and they've asked you to be their sexual partner, 9 times out of 10 they've asked about 10 other people to do the same thing. And God knows how many people they've met on the site. Just be safe and be cautious. And feel free to be open, but be open once you feel comfortable. Don't feel forced. Don't feel like you have to put everything out on the table and be an open book. You can take your time. As I said before, it's 24 hours, 7 days a week. Don't feel like you need to tell them everything about your life. Say you do hook up with someone and it becomes a relationship. Don't be embarrassed about saying where you met the person. Again, this is the new normal. I don't know anyone who hasn't reached out to someone online or slid in someone's DMs or sent someone a message because they saw their picture and was interested in them. Everyone is doing it. I'm not personally a fan of it because it's not my thing. After doing it, I just feel like it's just too cumbersome and I just don't have time to do it. But if that's your thing, like, yo, so what? Like, you found love. Like, you're embarrassed about finding love. I don't see anything wrong with that. Or living your life. Don't stalk person. Like, if you reached out to them and they don't respond to you and they view your profile, guess what? Then they're probably not attracted to you. Or maybe they're just not interested, or maybe they're busy and they'll respond to you later. So just don't take anything too seriously. Have fun. Have fun and take it for what it is. If that person's not interested in you, there's 10,000 other profiles out there. Just keep searching. Just keep going. Don't let that be a deterrent from you, reaching out to other people. So, and use your best picture. Don't put up a picture with you in a head tie or flip-flops or sweats or, crusting your eye or, if you have personality, put up a silly picture. Sure, why not? But, put up your best picture. Online dating is a shallow world. No one's going to reach out to you if they're not attracted to you. If they're attracted to you or they see that you have personality in your picture, then that's when they're going to reach out. If you put up something that's not attractive, don't expect a lot of messages. It's common sense. So just be wary of that. And be picky. Picky with who you're reaching out to. Pick what best fits you. If you feel like this person has different religious views than you, or maybe they're too aggressive, or maybe this person seems too submissive, swipe to the left and find someone until you swipe to the right and you want to meet them or want to talk to them and engage in conversation. Like, just be picky. You don't have to settle on just one person. Before meeting someone, make sure you do your research. Again, it's a digital world. They're providing you with information. If they give you their name, if they tell you where they work, if you do happen to get to that point, do your research. Google them. Like, just put them in the search bar and put their name in there, their telephone number or something, and try to see if they're legit. Do any criminal records come up? Are they a sex offender? Like, these are the things that you need to know. Like, just meeting someone offline, again, it could be someone saying that they're Shirley, and it could be a Brian that lives in West Bubble somewhere that's like 50 years old that likes to prey on young boys or young girls. So, do your research. And it's not hard to find out information about people, especially in the world that we live in today. So just take the time out to be safe and be cautious, because there are people out there, again, as I mentioned multiple times, that do not have your best interests at heart. So don't be naive. And just be realistic about your expectations and what you're getting from the site. Don't think that you're going to find your husband after being on the site for 2 days. Like, that's just not realistic. And people lie, so make sure that you're taking that into account. You're not taking everything at face value. Ask questions. Be inquisitive. Be as inquisitive as possible. Find out if they're married. Ask them how many siblings do they have. And then ask them a follow-up question just to make sure that you're okay with the response that they gave. And if you're not comfortable with the response that they gave, tell them they're lying or block them. Like, there's so many choices, and it allows you to be free. It just wasn't a fit for me. I just felt like it was a little overwhelming. Sometimes it was a little annoying, especially when you receive 10 and 15 messages and you're not interested in anyone, or you're engaging in a conversation and people don't know how to converse, or they don't have anything to say, or the only thing they can talk about is their favorite sexual position. Like, there's more in life to talk about. I'm not saying let's have a political debate on our first conversation, but show me that you have some intellectual capacity. We could talk about other things besides what we can do in the bedroom. So, just be picky. I prefer the traditional way. I like to observe and watch how people move and see how they respond to the things that I say. Not have to play the waiting game on when we're going to meet. Do I want to meet? Where are we going to go? Are you a creep? Are you crazy? Are you a scammer? Like, I just don't have the time. But, that's me. I know people that met their wives and husbands doing online dating. So it works for some, it doesn't work for others. And if it works for you, kudos. I hope that you learned something during this segment. I hope that I've helped you. And if you were on the fence, I hope, I gave you some guidance as to which way you can go. And best of luck with the online dating stuff. I hope you find what you're looking for, whether it be a sexual partner, a romance, a husband, or whatever. But it wasn't for me, man. And until next time, look out for the next episode. You can reach me on Twitter at Tameeka Henry, Instagram Tameeka_Henry. You can catch me on my website, www.TameekaHenry.com, or just reach out on brutallyuncut.com, where you can listen to the episode and any updates that I may have regarding future episodes. Looking forward to talking to you guys next time, and until then, thank you. You're now tuned in to Brutally Uncut with me, your host, Tameeka Henry.
Break up my lonely and tell me you want me. How dare you march into my heart? Oh, how rude of you to ruin my miserable and tell me I'm beautiful. 'Cause I wasn't looking for love.